Welcome to Tea and Chat with me, Basil from Trowbridge Library. This is the November Tea and Chat in front of a fire, and we're reading a selection of poems from the season, from November, autumnal, wintry kind of poems. And I'll start with a favourite of everybody's, I'm sure, in the nation's favourite poems. It's in the top 10. It's number 6 favourite poem, okay? To Autumn by John Keats. Apologies if you tried to get on earlier, we had a problem with the technical. Okay, anyway, I'm going to do To Autumn by John Keats. Seasons of mists and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him, how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run. To bend with apples the mossed cottage trees, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core. To swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells with a sweet kernel, to set budding more, and still more later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has o'erbrimmed their clammy cells. Who hath not seen thee oft amid thy store? Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find thee sitting careless on a granary floor. Thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind, or on a half-reaped furrow sound asleep, drowsed with a fume of poppies, while thy hook spares the next swathe and all its twined flowers. And sometimes, like a gleaner, thou dost keep steady thy laden head across the brook, or by a cider press, with a patient look, thou watchest the last oozings hours by hours. Where are the songs of spring? Ay, where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. While barred clouds bloom the soft dying day, and touch the stubble plains with rosy hue. Then in a wailful choir the small gnats mourn among the river sallows, borne or loft, or sinking as the light wind lives or dies. And full-grown lambs bleat from the hilly bourne, hedge crickets sing. And now, with treble soft, the red-breast whistles from a garden croft, and the gathering swallows twitter in the skies. So it's an ode to autumn. It's probably a little bit earlier than November. I think the swallows have already gone. The robin, the redbreast, is certainly singing a lot, and we've still got butterflies in our back garden, I have to say. Okay, but the singing birds makes me think of another lovely poem. It's quite a poignant one. It's a World War I poem by Siegfried Sassoon. Again, it's a very favourite one. It's number 33 in this list. Siegfried Sassoon's poem called Everyone Sang. Everyone suddenly burst out singing, and I was filled with such delight as prisoned birds must find in freedom, winging wildly across the white orchards and dark green fields, on, and out of sight. Everyone's voice was suddenly lifted, and beauty came like the setting sun. My heart was shaken with tears, and horror drifted away. Oh, but everyone was a bird, and the song was wordless. The singing will never be done. Oh, but everyone was a bird, and the song was wordless. The singing will never be done. My favourite lines, those last two, okay? It's if everyone was a bird and all the singing was all we did, it would lift everyone's heart a lot, wouldn't it? So it's a very poignant, it's also quite topical one for this time of year, coming up towards Memorial Day as well. But Siegfried Sassoon's Everyone Sang, from the nation's favourite poems. It's a lovely collection of poetry. If you have got lots of old favourites you can't quite remember, a bit like me, it's a great book to borrow. You can't get Trowbridge's at the minute because I've got it in my hand here, but you will be able to shortly when I get it back there, okay? There's another book I've got here called another 100 favourite poems, but these ones are collected and chosen by Classic FM listeners. A slightly different list, and I'm going to do 2 or 3 from here as well. Okay, the first one is called Silver. I've got to find it because my bookmark's fallen out. Here we go. Walter de la Mare's Silver. Okay, it's a bit more wintry, a bit less autumny, a bit like November. Slowly, silently now the moon walks the night in her silver shoon. This way and that she peers and sees silver fruit on silver trees. One by one the casements catch her beams beneath the silvery thatch. Couched in his kennel, like a log, with paws of silver, sleeps the dog. From the shadowy coat the white breasts peep of doves in a silver feathered sleep. Harvest mouse goes scampering by, with silver claws and a silver eye, and moveless fish in the water gleam by silver reeds in a silver stream. Suddenly brings to mind to me a wintry moon rather than a summery moon, maybe a bit like the one last night. It was very dark last night early, wasn't it, once the clocks changed, but going out it was very clear, and the moonlight was lovely, silver everywhere. So that's Silver by Walter de la Mare, another favourite of lots of people, okay, and I hope you enjoy that one. Okay, now I'm going to change tack slightly. I'm going to do a poem which isn't really about autumn or winter, but it kind of, well, it's about maybe autumn, winter of people's lives. It's called Father William by Lewis Carroll. Alice in Wonderland, obviously, his famous book. This is a poem he wrote. It's kind of almost like a song as well, but it's quite amusing, and I hope you'll enjoy it if you don't know it. If you do know it, join in. Lewis Carroll's Father William. You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain, but now that I'm perfectly sure that I have none, why, I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and you have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turn a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason of that? In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple by the use of this ointment. 1 shilling a box. Allow me to sell you a couple. You are old, Father, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finish the goose, and the bones, and the beak. Pray, how do you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law, and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever. Yet you balanced the nail on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever? I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough, said his father. Don't you give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs. Autumn of life, maybe, and youth. It's quite an amusing one. Okay, Father William by Lewis Carroll. There are some great songs around as well. You can hear people putting those to music. Alright, so that's from the 100 favourite poems chosen by Classic FM listeners. A fabulous collection. But now what we've recently got in the library, I have talked about these before, there are lots of lovely new poetry books, okay? They're in lots of the libraries, so have a look around when you next go into your local library. This one's called, I'm going to shine it there so you can see it, A Nature Poem for Every Day of the Year, okay? So it's a nature poem for every day of the year. And I thought I'd pull this one off the shelf when I was looking for poetry, and I think, what's today all about? What's going on the 2nd of November? What's the poem they've chosen? And they've chosen a poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson for the 2nd of November, chosen by Jane McMorland Hunter. Thank you, Jane McMorland Hunter. And this poem is called The Oak. The Oak. Live thy life young and old, like yon oak, bright in spring, living gold. Summer rich then, and then autumn changed, soberer hubed, gold again. All his leaves fallen at length. Look, he stands trunk and bough, naked strength. It's quite a good poem. It's almost like a haiku, I think. Very sort of short, sparse words, but kind of delivers quite a lot. The last bit, the winter when the leaves have fallen off the oak tree. All his leaves fallen at length. Look, he stands, trunk and bough, naked strength. Yep, for me that's definitely an oak. Okay, that's Alfred Lord Tennyson's The Oak, which was chosen as a nature poem for today, the 2nd of November. Okay, I was flicking through and thought, what other poems are there? And I did come across this one. So for those who don't like the autumn or the when the clocks change and all getting dark and cold, maybe you'll like this poem. It's called No! And it's by Thomas Hood, who was active from, well, he lived from 1799 to 1845. It's a great poem. It feels very modern. I mean, it's very funny. I like it. And I'll finish with this one and hope you enjoy it. Anything you want to say? Any other requests for poems in the future? Or come and say hi in the library anytime, please do. We love to hear back from you. All right. But this is called No. Let me know what you think of this one. Let me know what you think of No. No sun, no moon, no morn, no noon, no dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day, no sky, no earthly view, no distant looking blue, no road, no street, no t'other side the way, no end to any row, no indications where crescents go, no top to any steeple, no recognition of familiar people, no courtesies for showing 'em, no knowing 'em, no travelling at all, no locomotion, no inkling of the way, no notion, no go by land or ocean, no mail, no post, no news from any foreign coast, no park, no ring, no afternoon gentility, no company, no nobility, no warmth, no cheerfulness, no healthful ease, no comfortable feel in any member, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds. November. I hope you like that. Thomas Hood, No. Someone who doesn't really like the season changing, I think. Disagree though, as I said before, I did see a butterfly in our garden this morning, so there are butterflies around in November still, Thomas Hood. Maybe that's global warming, I don't know. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed those, with all those poems, and you've had a nice relaxation listening to them with me, hopefully with a cup of tea or maybe a biscuit. I had a coffee today. So cheers for that, okay? And everyone stay safe, okay? Come and say hi to us in the library. Trowbridge Library is open now 6 days a week, which is brilliant, okay? Everyone stay safe and take care. Bye. Cheers.